I am so honored and pleased to have in the studio the guy who, damn near every day, Tim, I got to tell you, at least 4 or 5 times a week, I am telling people, people call up and go, I don't like my rap. And I'm like, what are you doing about it? Well, I don't want to do anything except to complain. I'm saying, get over to pdamerica.org and join up. Do something. Get involved, damn it.
We thank you for that.
And it's my civic duty, frankly. I mean, I think that I have a responsibility to do something and not just to sit and whine and complain. I am so, half the time I listen to talk radio and I just hear whining and complaining. It's like, what value is that? Let's do. So you're doing something. You're here in town because there's something going on. Tell me about this. Robin Hood tax.
Well, first of all, your shout outs to PDA, I want to let you know that it resonates. Every time I've been on in the last 3 months, we've had a spike at pdamerica.org, and I thank you for that. Folks today that went to their member of Congress heard about what we were up to last month on this show. Yesterday, 100 folks in their district offices went to Congress and said, enough of this austerity. We need prosperity. We want to get on with the Robin Hood tax. We've talked about this, right. A small tax on Wall Street. Congressman Ellison introduced it yesterday. We have a bill now, H.R. 1578. So we were in district offices asking members to co-sponsor, and today folks are getting on the phone with Credo Action Network, calling offices. Not everybody can physically get to the office, but we can all pick up the phone. So today, pick up the phone, call your district office, H.R. 676, which is Congressman John Conyers, Enhanced Medicare for All, single payer. We want their members to co-sponsor.
This is Medicare Part E for everybody.
Well, yeah.
It's what I used to call it.
Healthcare was a human right.
Yeah.
And then Keith Ellison, of course, we've talked about this. Keith was with us with PDA when we had our Progressive Central in January around the inaugural. But this is very important. It's to begin this whole discussion of hands off Social Security. There's a revenue stream through a carbon tax and a Robin Hood tax. Let's get on with it. Congressman Keith Ellison with Raul Grijalva, the Congressional Progressive Caucus, is leading that fight. So we have to make sure that our president hears us loud and clear. God knows we've been disappointed enough. We've got to make sure that he understands hands off Social Security, get on with taxing Wall Street, and let's get to work on Main Street.
Yeah. And so what I'm hearing is you're in town, you're lobbying, you got people lobbying all over the country.
Educating members of Congress.
Yes, lobbying would be the wrong word. I'm sorry.
We can't compete with K Street.
No, and nor do I think you'd want to, frankly, because nobody's writing big checks to you to say, hey,
our big checks last night at our gathering were $45 and $50, and we're very grateful.
Yeah, and pdamerica.org, a $25, $40, $50 check, a $10 check, it actually does make a difference. I know you guys. And so what I'm hearing is that you're out, you're knocking on doors, you're talking to members of Congress. Keith Ellison, one of our champions and heroes, and Raul Grijalva and John Conyers. 3 pieces of legislation, it sounds like. Number 1, the Robin Hood tax. This is the 1/2 of 1% tax on every security transaction. In other words, every stock sale. And correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. And that would generate billions of dollars.
Most experts say $350 billion.
Yeah, $350 billion a year.
Yes.
Which is mind-boggling.
Yeah,
I mean, that's enough to pay for health care for everybody. I mean, that's mind-boggling. And it also would minimize many of the abuses of Wall Street because it would put a little bit of sand in the gears of the high-speed, the high-frequency trading, the robotic trading.
And Europe gets this. They're moving in this direction.
Oh, yeah, the Europeans are doing this.
So we have a bill, again, when you call, you want H.R. 1579, just introduced yesterday by Congressman Keith Ellison. Our goal is to get co-sponsors on that bill. We hit 100, we get a vote.
Okay, so that's the Robin Hood tax.
Correct.
Secondly, you've got John Conyers, 676. It's been 676 year after year, hasn't it?
Bet.
That sure does sound familiar. For years I've been.
We're going to keep coming until we get it back. We just left him.
And this is that health care is a human right.
Enhanced Medicare for All. Yes.
Enhanced Medicare for All. Okay. And then the third is
the letter that we talked about last month, and we've been banging on doors. We have 41 members of Congress now that have said to the president, do not touch Social Security under any means. Do not raise the retirement age. No change CPI. We want Social Security as is. 41 members of Congress have signed that. Alan Grayson, Mark Takano out of Riverside, Alan Grayson out of Florida have authored that letter. We need you to have their members sign that same letter. So those are the 3 asks today.
So 3 simple, straightforward things. You can find them all at pdamerica.org, as in Progressive Democrats of America.org. And for the record, Progressive Democrats of America has no affiliation whatsoever with the Democratic Party. In fact, there are days of the week, and many of them, when the Democratic Party would just as soon
Have us go away.
Kick you guys right flat out of town.
We are the insurgents. The one quick thing, Tom, if I could, is to thank New Mexico. I just got a call before I came on. They met with their member of Congress. It looks like 2 members of Congress out there in New Mexico are going to sign the letter. These are examples of small d democracy, connecting the dots from you here, getting outside Washington, and really banging on those doors. So it does. It really does. This does make a difference. You have a choice. As you said, you can sit back and be cynical and not be engaged or get in the fight.
Right.
There are, as we say, there are 2 parties regardless of what folks say. We need a real second party. We want the Democrats to be that party.
Right.
We want a progressive Democratic governing majority.
Right. So it's the inside-outside strategy. It is pushing the Democratic Party on the inside. In other words, calling them, contacting them, showing up in their offices, congratulating them when they do things right, like Keith Ellison has done, like John Conyers has done. Yeah. Amen. Amen, brother. And then the outside strategy, the insurgency strategy, standing out, and you had a gig last night at Busboys and Poets where you got a bunch of people together, you're doing these things around the country, standing out in front of the White House, standing in front of Congress, standing in front of the Supreme Court. You've done all these things, public demonstrations, affiliations of National Nurses United and others, and making things happen.
And Saturday with National Nurses United, the Robin Hood Alliance will be in the streets here in D.C. We invite folks to come out and join with us. We're going to take this campaign out of the halls of Congress today, stop the education, get back to the street heat. That starts on Saturday. All the information, National Nurses United, I know you had Gene Ross on last night on the TV side, pdamerica.org. It's all there. All we need folks to do is when they're done listening to the show, turn it off and get engaged.
There you go. And if you're a multitasker, you can pull it up on your computer screen, PD, like Progressive Democrats, America, pdamerica.org right now, and check it out. You can see all the details. You can participate. You can
get signed up. We want to hear from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not selling your mailing lists to anybody, and you're not going to get spammed or any of this other kind of nonsense. You
will hear from folks in your neighborhood that are making a difference. PDA was formed with the belief that a small community of group of folks working together can really build something, and we're in the process. As you know, Tom, you've been with us for some time. By getting on the mailing list, you'll get in touch with folks in your neighborhood as well as on the phone.
This is building community.
That's at the end of the day, it is all about building that community.
Yeah.
And as we often say, Margaret Mead brings us all the way back to never underestimate a small core group of dedicated people. Those are the folks that are delivering letters right now and on the phones.
It is so the opposite of the NRA. You give your information to the NRA, and suddenly all the gun manufacturers are calling. Anyhow, Tim Carpenter, pdamerica.org. Sir, thank you.
As always, thank you, Tom.